Before we get into this episode, I'd just like to take a moment to thank you guys for the insane support of my latest video, but also that we've now managed to reach 1000 subscribers. Yeah, it's absolutely insane. Thank you guys so much. I'd really like to do some kind of special video, but as you might have noticed, this video has taken me almost 2 months to create, and believe me, I could barely believe it myself, about 70 in-game hours. I mean, I truly believe that area that I built in this episode is one of the best, if not the best that I've ever designed, so hopefully it isn't too much of a disappointment. Welcome back to Saltbridge Gardens, and as you just saw, we're making a coaster in this episode. We'll also be doing a bunch of other stuff, but for now let's mainly focus on this, which I've decided to call a B&M Extreme Flying Coaster. This is of course a model that doesn't exist in real life, although that is exactly why I've decided to go for it. This will probably be my final park in Planet Coaster 1, at least for a while, so why not go all out and create something interesting and a bit more experimental. As you probably can imagine, this will be a more extreme version of the already existing B&M flying coaster, kind of what Mack has decided to do with their extreme spinner. Overall, I'm really happy with how the layout turned out, which basically just consists of a bunch of back-to-back inversions. I've also tried to think a bit more about the pacing, which is something that I haven't done in my previous projects. The first half for this coaster is more fast-paced and low to the ground, while the other half has bigger inversions and more hang time. We'll do a POV of this coaster when the surrounding is more finished, but let's for now instead move on to the station building. When I started designing this station, I didn't really know what I was going for. I just kind of made these pillars without any plan and continued building from there. I really like this way of building without any real plan and just going for what feels right. I've done this for most of the buildings in this park so far, and it makes each and every one of them feel a bit more unique and forces them in some way to be a bit more organic. This station building ends up as a Victorian-inspired castle, which I think is pretty fitting for the overall style of the park. It does turn out pretty humongous, but I think that's fine. As I said in a previous episode, this park really doesn't have any budget to follow whatsoever. One thing that you might have noticed is the quarry wall in the background. This park is built in an old mining area, so I thought it would be an interesting addition. It gives a nice backdrop, but also makes the park feel a bit more coherent. This is of course very inspired by Six Flags Fiesta Texas. I think it could be interesting to even have some more interactions with the quarry wall itself. I might do something like that if I can make it work. I mean, I have to say it, I really like how this area has turned out, and it's not just because of the way it looks. I don't know how I managed to miss this while building, but this type of castle with a flying coaster is actually something that I've already done before. I think it was 3 or something years ago. In one of my first parks I had a very similar type of build as this one. I put up some shots of it, but yeah, this is why I really like it. I remember that coaster as one of the first ones that I was really happy with, so having a kind of successor to that one in this park just makes it feel so much more special to me. But besides that, the rest of the surrounding feels really cozy and peaceful, which was ultimately the kind of vibe that I tried to go for. I think these fields are a great example of that. They capture the kind of image that I went for. Although I might actually ruin it. I hope I'm not, but I'm about to add a monorail station right here, so hopefully it still looks okay. I'm sorry if it doesn't work out. I don't know if it's like this for everyone, but sometimes when I plan to build something very basic, like this lakeside area, I just keep on going, and eventually I've spent way too many hours on what was supposed to just be a small area. I mean, I don't regret it one bit, but does this happen for you guys as well? And yeah, this is also one of the reasons why this episode has taken so long. And while we're on the topic, I just wanted to say that I'm going to try my very best to get the next couple of episodes out much faster. I mean, we're almost at the release of Planet Coaster 2, so if I want to finish this before then, I pretty much have to do it anyways. Also, if you haven't already, then please check if you're subscribed. I appreciate it as always. But overall, I'm very pleased with the outcome of this area. I think this giant Ferris wheel just made it so much better. It wasn't planned at all, but I absolutely love it. This area down by the water also just got the exact vibe that I was looking for. I pretty much just copied the layout of these seating areas. I tried to find where I got the screenshots from, but unfortunately I couldn't do it. If I do, then I'll put it in the description, and also, if you know, then please leave a comment about it. But let's talk a bit more about the station. As you can tell, it's a very open design and has a very industrial metal look to it. I think this fits the mining aesthetic very well. I also decided to separate the onloading and offloading platforms. It obviously doesn't work, it just looks kinda cool. But I think that's all. The only thing we got left to do is the POV of the coaster, so I hope you enjoy it. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you again in the next episode.